crazy PR games right now coming from Blake Lively's side. So I became aware a couple of weeks ago that somebody in Blake Lively's camp was shopping around what they claimed to be HR complaints to various tabloids and publications, namely TMZ, Daily Mail, and the New York Post. They don't think we can see that it's utterly unreasonable to suggest that Sony ignored. You said Sony on May 29th, all of us just got ripped. We all got ripped. And we filed this with Sony, and Sony just didn't do anything about it. But we decided not to sue Sony. We decided to instead go after Justin Baldoni in a CRD complaint and then later a lawsuit. But we decided to leave Sony out of it conveniently.
So let's see how Candace breaks this down for us today. I don't think you guys want to miss this one.
All right, guys, we are in the midst of some crazy PR games right now coming from Blake Lively's side. So I became aware a couple of weeks ago that somebody in Blake Lively's camp was shopping around what they claimed to be HR complaints to various tabloids and publications, namely TMZ, Daily Mail, and the New York Post, sending them these HR complaints saying these were real and these were ignored, all painting Justin Baldoni to be a monster, okay? Interestingly enough, all of these publications, which are known to just like publish whatever, they publish things about me that are completely untrue, they don't care about defamation or anything like that, all declined to publish this. Main reasons being that these complaints coming in were heavily redacted, and yet when they reached out to the person that was shopping them and was like, hey, like we have some basic questions about this, like why are you blacking out the dates? Why are you blacking out the complainants? They got a little iffy on the details, and they didn't want to take the risk for potentially being sued for defamation without being able to legitimately confirm that these were real complaints. Now, if you're a PR agent and you are desperately trying to get out these complaints for your clients, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, to help change the environment of everybody who's calling them out on their BS, what do you do next? You can't get any of the big guys to publish it. So you start leaking to TikTokers, independent journalists, because you view these people to be stupid, right? So you're like, okay, they'll absorb the risk. They'll definitely publish this if they think that they have an exclusive. And essentially that's what's happened. They started shopping this around to independent journalists. And I'm now going to show you the complaints that they've been shopping around.
The text on the document reads, "Complainant is clearly traumatized in her verbal account of incident. Director Justin Baldoni had an orgasm on camera." She asks, "Why is this necessary to know since a climax is not scripted in the scene?" Baldoni then leans close to complainant's face and whispers, "I think we should go ahead and add it in. Show us what you got." Complainant did not feel she had the authority to object. Complainant said she did not want to do the scene, but she couldn't say no, and filming by refusing. Complainant began improving the scene, making what she perceived to be necessary adjustments. Baldoni grabbed her face and said, "I need you to be more vulnerable." Complainant then broke down in tears and said he was so close to complainant that she could feel his breath causing her face to mist up. Baldoni then closed his eyes for several moments and stated, "I'm allowed to say this? You know how hot this is, right?" Then Baldoni asked complainant to practice the scene again. This time, Baldoni positioned himself only inches from complainant, and complainant stated she needed a restroom break. Baldoni kept his hands on her outer thighs, virtually pinning her in place. After an approximately 10-minute break, she relayed complainant's story to the intimacy coordinator. Complainant was then waved back on set, and complainant stated he was so close to her for so long. His breath on her face necessitated her makeup needing to be redone. Complaint number 2. The complainant states she became uncomfortable with Justin Baldoni yesterday while filming. She states Mr. Baldoni put his bare hands on her butt and said he was trying to help with her posture. The complainant immediately voiced her displeasure with being touched on an intimate part of her body, and Mr. Baldoni responded with, "It's fine, I'm totally hot for my wife," in a dismissive tone. The complainant relayed to Mr. Baldoni that he did not have permission to touch her inappropriately. Mr. Baldoni then responded, "Oh no, better go see HR," to which the complainant replied, "I will." Approximately 3 hours later, Baldoni approached the complainant and stated he was, "Sorry, they got off on the wrong foot." The complainant stated she replied, "You got off all right, but it had nothing to do with your feet," and walked away from Baldoni. Complainant's agent provided text messages from complainant, including one sent approximately 18 minutes after the incident, wherein complainant said, "Justin Baldoni just literally grabbed my ass in front of the cameras. I want to talk to someone at Sony like now." Candace noted that omitting the names and dates was a deliberate tactic, since it would have appeared unusual to the public if every complaint were submitted on an identical date and from a single individual concerning Justin Baldoni. it would have resembled what the audience already believed, a coordinated, artificial, pinpointed assault on Justin Baldoni, resulting from Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds forcefully persuading other cast members in a clear display. Yet there is another issue that is more wrong with these alleged redacted complaints, an element that is likely a larger reason why TMZ, Daily Mail, and NY Post chose not to publish. Every single redacted complaint was sent exclusively to Sony instead of Wayfarer.
By the New York Times, you've got Wayfarer, you have Jamie Heath, you've got Justin Baldoni, Steve Sarowitz even, Jennifer Abel, Jed Wallace down in Texas, but nope, no Sony, which is so weird. And here is her actual federal lawsuit where she conveniently dropped off Jed altogether, but they've got the agency group, Melissa Nathan, Jamie Heath, Steve Sarowitz. It ends with Us Movie LLC, Wayfarer Studios, and once again, no Sony. So what does this tell us? Well, first and foremost, that they still believe the public is stupid, that moms on the internet are stupid, that we don't understand these legal games and these PR games. And we keep proving that to be wrong time and time again. But let's just keep going with this strategy, Blake's PR team. They don't think we can see that it's utterly unreasonable to suggest that Sony ignored. You said Sony on May 29th, all of us just got raped. We all got raped. And we filed this with Sony, and Sony just didn't do anything about it. But we decided not to sue Sony. We decided to instead go after Justin Baldoni in a CRD complaint and then later a lawsuit. But we decided to leave Sony out of it conveniently, even though they would have been the ones that were holding all of these complaints. And nobody wants to publish it. So we're now turning to independent journalists and making them think that they have a scoop. Yeah, something stinks to the high heaven here. And I think we're going to see more tomorrow, obviously, when she is due to file her amendment.
Additionally, progress is seen on Baldoni's discovery objections, as Team Lively has filed their own letter with the judge asserting that the entire subpoena objection must be rejected without any compromise. The document outlines a vindictive campaign targeting a person who raised issues regarding improper conduct during a film shoot clearly. It highlights the need for records showing when and how defendants and witnesses learned of the harassment claims against Ms. Lively, as well as the Wayfarer Group's attempts to discredit her via media and online. The Wayfarer groups are accused of misrepresenting the subpoena's scope by suggesting they seek communications, such as marital, medical, and attorney-client, which is disputed as false. The document claims that the subpoenas request call, text, and data logs, none of which are privileged. Legal precedents are referenced to contend that the sought information is not shielded by attorney-client privilege or medical confidentiality. The document disputes the Wayfarer party's assertions of third-party privacy, arguing that they possess no proprietary interest in communications from non-parties. The document questions the validity of privacy, concerns regarding dialed phone numbers, citing legal cases to support the view that such information does not merit protection at all. We will await further updates on each of these matters. Kindly remember to like and subscribe. Thank you.